Alright, so we recently compared the Google Pixel 7 to the Moto Edge 30 Fusion, and a lot of you guys pointed out that while the Edge 30 Fusion is a more value for money device, a real competitor to the Pixel 7 would be the Moto Edge 30 Ultra, considering that both these devices are priced at exactly rupees 60,000. So, which of these devices actually makes more sense for you? See, on paper, I would have to say that the Moto Edge 30 Ultra already has the numbers going for it. But we all know that numbers aren't the end game, right? I mean, Google is famous for optimizing things. And of course, Google has the advantage when it comes to AI. But are those two things enough to beat the S30 Ultra? Let's find out. This is Varun from GTR and you're watching my in-depth comparison of the Google Pixel 7 with the Moto S30 Ultra. Let's get started. Alright, so let's start off by talking about the design here. Now, of course, the Google Pixel 7 looks far more unique, whereas the Moto Edge 30 Ultra, while looking premium, definitely gets lost in the whole market of all these Android devices. As far as the weight distribution goes, they're both the same in terms of weight. However, Pixel being a more compact device is a little bit better to use in hand. Speaking of in-hand usage, the edges are a little bit sharp on the Moto S30 Ultra as well, while the curved edges are very refined and quite premium on the Pixel 7. Now, while we're on the topic of premium, both the devices do come with premium quality materials and have an excellent build quality. I mean, in terms of protection, the Moto Edge 30 Ultra does have Gorilla Glass 5 protection on both front and back, and you get an aluminum frame. However, the Pixel does do things better here thanks to offering Gorilla Glass Victus protection on both front and back with an aluminum frame while also being IP68 rated. On the other hand, Motorola has no noticeable rating as such. Now, one more thing that I'd like to highlight is that the haptic feedback on the Pixel is absolutely amazing. It's one of the most refined haptics that I've ever used. Now, that is not to say that Motorola's haptics are bad or anything. In fact, they're pretty close. However, one thing I'd like to highlight is that because it's a slim device, the haptics feel a little bit more stronger. Now, while that comes in handy when you're using your phone on vibrate mode and you want to get notified of new messages or calls, in that kind of a scenario, the haptics work better in comparison to the Pixel. But if you're someone who likes to type each message, then you would find the haptics on the Pixel to be better. Now, moving along, let's talk about the display here. The Pixel comes with a 6.3-inch AMOLED 90Hz panel with HDR10 Plus certification, while Motorola comes with a 6.67-inch POLED 144Hz panel with HDR10 Plus certification. Speaking of HDR certification, while Pixel supports HDR10 inside Netflix as well, Motorola does not do that. With that being said, both the devices do support 4K 60fps HDR footage inside YouTube. Now, as far as outdoor legibility is concerned, numbers aside, they are both almost neck to neck. So it's not to say that Pixel is far brighter. Motorola comes very close to it. And honestly speaking, as far as the display department is concerned, I would have to give it to Motorola. You get a bigger display, you get a more smoother display, you get an almost bright, like to the naked eye, you can't really make a big difference in terms of outdoor legibility. The Motorola is still easy to use outdoors. Also, while we're on the topic of displays, one thing I'd like to highlight is that Pixel comes with a flat display while the Moto comes with a curved panel. Now, which one you like is completely your call because they both have their pros and cons. Of course, curved panels look far more premium and gestures work better on that. But that also means that they're far more fragile as compared to flat displays. And that also means that in case something goes wrong, a flat display is easier to replace, whereas the cost of this display in itself would be very high. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the cameras. Now, the Pixel comes with a 50MP OIS sensor with a 12MP ultra-wide sensor. Up front, it comes with a 10.8MP shooter for selfies. On the other hand, Motorola has massive numbers for its favor, offering a 200MP OIS primary sensor with a 12MP telephoto lens and a 50MP ultra-wide sensor. You also get a 60MP selfie shooter up front. Now, in terms of camera performance, as far as daylight shots are concerned, both the phones manage to click some very good shots. However, one thing I would like to highlight is that Motorola has some inconsistency across its color profile, while Pixel mostly goes for color accurate shots. Now, HDR works great on both. What I have noticed is that Motorola favors highlights more, as you can see from the sun, while Pixel prefers a more balanced shot. Moving on to telephoto shots, Motorola has a clear advantage here. You have sharper images, even at 8x, and Motorola can further go to 16x, while Pixel caps out at 8x only. Switching to the ultra-wide sensor, Motorola again has an advantage thanks to a wider frame of view at 0.5x, while Pixel shoots at just 0.7x. With that being said, despite having more megapixels, Motorola's shot lacks detailing that the Pixel has, especially if you zoom into the image. Switching over to selfies, I would have to say it's Motorola's game here. Better color accuracy, better detailing of the face, and while the edge detection is good on both, the bokeh seems more natural on Motorola. As far as HDR performance is concerned, well, I would have to say it's average on both. Moving on to videos, both the devices support 4K at 60 FPS recording, although Motorola does take a step forward by offering you 8K 30 FPS recording as well. Of course, both the phones, like I said, come with OIS stabilization as well. As far as the video performance goes, well, let's just take a look at both the rear video footage and the selfie video footage.
Alright, so recording 4K 30 FPS footage is from the rear camera. The Moto Edge 30 Ultra is on the left side and the Pixel 7 is on the right side. Now, at the time of recording, Pixel 7 definitely looks far more stable. But I've seen, even on the Moto Edge 30 Fusion, and I've used the Moto Edge 30 Ultra previously as well, that the end resulting processed video that you guys will be seeing will be a little more stable as compared to what I am seeing at the time of recording. And just to give you a glimpse of the HDR performance, and I'm walking sideways right now to give you an idea of the kind of stability. Both the footages look pretty good, to be honest. I won't say that I have a clear winner here at the time of recording, so I'll let you guys be the judge in deciding what kind of a video output you guys prefer here. So we're recording 4K 30 FPS selfie footage from the Moto Edge 30 Ultra, which is on my left, and the Pixel 7, which is on my right side. Now, from what I can see, Moto definitely adds a lot of beautification to my face, at least what's visible at the time of recording on the phone's display. The HDR seems to be working better on the Pixel 7, but apart from the HDR, I think for everything else, Moto's video looks far more better. That being said, Pixel does have the edge in terms of microphone quality, as you can judge by yourself. And yeah, I mean, it's a give or take. If you are okay with the comparatively less powerful microphone on the Moto Edge 30 Ultra, well, then go for it. Because personally, I think the focusing issues on the Pixel 7, like by focusing, I mean it's an infinite focus, so my face is not as sharp as it would appear on the Moto Edge 30 Ultra. So that is a major difference.
Switching to low light performance, once again, quite comparable results. You can see them on your screen and decide for yourself. Or even better is the fact that there's a direct download link to all of the camera samples down there in the description box. So you can just download all the camera samples untouched straight from the phones, analyze the photos for yourself on your computer screen, and then comment down below which device's camera you resonate more with. Alright, so moving along, let's talk about the performance. Now, the Pixel comes with the Google Tensor G2 processor coupled with UFS 3.1 storage. On the other hand, Motorola comes with the latest flagship, which is the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor coupled with UFS 3.1 storage. Now, the benchmarks are on your screen, and as expected, Motorola has better benchmarks thanks to a newer and faster processor. Now, while day-to-day performance is excellent on both, as far as gaming performance is concerned, I would have to say that Motorola has the edge here. See, both the phones have flagship processors, so you can game at the highest settings on both. With that being said, Motorola's Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 is a far more optimized processor, so despite having a thin chassis, it still manages to keep the temperatures in check for a longer period, while Pixel does get warm after about 30 to 40 minutes of heavy gaming. Now, of course, the performance part is aided by the software department as well. Pixel comes with the stock Android 13, while Motorola comes with almost stock Android 12 with Motorola's additions on top. The good part here is that you get zero ads or bloatware on either of them, and both the devices offer a smooth and amazing experience. In terms of software, Pixel does have certain advantages, one of them obviously being the fact that it gets it's just day one updates. Whenever a new update is launched, Pixel devices get them first in most scenarios. But yeah, Pixel's update schedule is much better as compared to Motorola's. Also, that update is not just for features but also for security updates. So if you care about that, then this is an important thing to have. On the other hand, Motorola, of course, the update schedule is not that good, but then it also has certain software additions that make it more comparable to other custom ROMs out there like MyUI or real MyUI in terms of added features. So basically, you get the look and feel of a stock Android, but you still get those additions in the form of Moto Actions. Also, one more thing that I really like on Motorola's devices is the connected display, where you can use the phone directly as a webcam to your PC. And additionally, if your car does not have Android Auto Wireless, Motorola has a plugin for that to basically emulate the service and still use Android Auto wirelessly using their devices. So yeah, long story short, if I have to summarize the software experience, while Pixel offers a better software experience for camera enthusiasts and people who care more about their security, Motorola offers a software experience that caters to, well, the majority of the audience. And as far as security goes, while you do not get security updates, security patches from Google, the phone still comes with ThinkShield security, so that still counts for something. Lastly, we have the battery life. Now, the Pixel comes with a 4355 mAh battery with support for 20-watt charging, but the charger is not included in the box. On the other hand, the Moto Edge 30 Ultra comes with a 4610 mAh battery with a 125-watt charger that's supplied in the box. Both the devices also support wireless charging, with Pixel capping out at 20 watts of support, while Motorola does support 50 watts of fast charging, but that's a proprietary charger that you have to buy separately. Also, before you ask, yes, both the devices also support reverse wireless charging. Now, see, this is one area where Motorola easily wins this one. I mean, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 is one of the most optimized flagship processors, so even though it's a flagship processor, you can still push it for an entire day without having to worry about battery life. And in the case where the phone is running low on battery, 125 watts of fast charging is absolutely crazy. Like, literally just 10 minutes of charging is more than enough for most folks. On the other hand, with the Pixel, the battery life is bad. I mean, bad in the sense that, you know, if your day starts at around 8 to 9 a.m., then consider your phone to last max to max till 6 to 7 p.m. in the evening. After that, you will have to charge this device. And as far as charging is concerned, first you have to spend extra on a USB PD charger. And even then, the phone will charge at just 20 watts. So, I mean, yeah, this is an easy win for the Moto Edge 30 Ultra. Which brings us to the pricing. Like I said, both the devices are priced at the same price tag of Rs 60,000. Now, honestly speaking, I would have to say that the Moto Edge 30 Ultra offers far more value for money. I mean, it's not just value for money at 60,000, it just basically gives the Pixel a run for its money and actually excels in most of the areas. You get a better display, you get a pretty good camera that actually not only competes but in some areas even manages to outshine the Pixel 7. You get, of course, better battery life, you get faster charging speed, and while it does lack in the update schedule, you still get a software that should suffice most of your needs. Now, as far as the Pixel 7 is concerned, sure, you do get security updates and day one Android updates, and the camera is still superior in certain areas, and of course, you get a more premium and unique design. But does that justify the 60,000 price tag? Or should you just buy the Moto Edge 30 Ultra? Well, there are two ways to look at it. For the average consumer, I would have to say just pick the Moto Edge 30 Ultra. It's the clear winner. With that being said, Google still has something very strong in its arsenal, which is the brand value. See, for 60,000, you're not looking for a flagship killer. You're looking for a flagship device. And when you're buying a premium device, you want to buy a phone that has a specific brand value like Apple or Samsung, and Google definitely belongs in that same figure, same area where Google can actually compete with Samsung and iPhones. Motorola, despite offering amazing features, does not have that brand value that resonates with those two brands that I just named. And of course, Pixel still remains a status symbol for most folks out there. So at the end of the day, if you're someone who is not concerned about status symbol, if like just not care about the brand value, the Moto Edge 30 Ultra is the clear winner. With that being said, there's obviously a clear reason why you would be picking the Pixel 7 in this comparison. And well, that was it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is One from GTR, and I'll see you in the next one.